These shifts happen across our area. It's always good to get a fresh set of eyes to try to help interpret some of what we're seeing.
So as we do often here at 3 News, we have invited political analyst Dr. Bill Criss to weigh in on some of the results. He joins us now here in the studio. So Dr. Criss, as always, thank you so much for joining us tonight. What are some of the races that you've been watching closely personally that you know and are seeing are going to impact South Texas residents?
Well, the most important one is Proposition 4, which deals with the water fund that will be put into the Constitution. It appears that all of these amendments are going to pass, which I think is a function of the fact that we don't have initiative and referendum in Texas. The only way to get a constitutional amendment passed is to have the legislature pass it. And of course, the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive branches of the Texas government have been Republican uniformly for decades now. And so if the governor and the legislature decide they want to pass a constitutional amendment and they tell all of their voters to vote for it, they're all likely to pass. And that's what's happening tonight.
Yeah, we were looking at that earlier, and it appears of the 17, every one of them looking like they're going to pass, some of them by significant margins. Let's talk for a moment about the voting trends. Was there anything that surprised you in the way people voted in basically what was an off-year election?
Well, I went to vote myself, and I can tell you a couple of things about the electorate that shows up for these elections. There were no humans on the ballot, right? It's all constitutional amendments. And so what you find is that the voting population is overwhelmingly and uncharacteristically older. I didn't see anybody in line, and it was a fairly long line in early voting. I didn't see anybody in line who was younger than 50 years old, and also overwhelmingly Republican. So what tends to happen in these constitutional amendment elections is that people go in and they just vote for all of them because they're overwhelmingly older and traditional voters. They are going to defer to what the legislature and the governor want. And so that's what happened today.
Yeah, and so again, all those 17 prop races here in Texas passing, like you just mentioned. Obviously, there were a lot of races affecting communities here in the Coastal Bend, but there were also a lot of big races happening on the national level that has a lot of America watching and talking about right now. I'm just curious to hear, Dr. Criss, what were you watching as far as those big national races go?
Well, I was watching the gubernatorial races in Virginia and in New Jersey. The returns are not yet in or complete out of California, where there was a ballot measure to amend the Constitution to allow them to redistrict in a way to combat or respond to what the Texas legislature did to essentially gerrymander a bunch of districts in funny shapes that are designed to give the Republicans more Congress people. And in California, there's a vote right now on the ballot to allow the California legislature to do the same thing in reverse for the Democrats. And then you have people in New Jersey and other blue states like New York who are threatening to follow suit with California. So we have kind of an arms race with redistricting or gerrymandering going on nationwide. It's clear that that independents and moderates have a tremendous amount of sway in the elections that we're going to see today and also in 2026. And those independents and moderates are moving back to the middle of the road. They've kind of indicating that they've had enough of the rather extreme partisanship that the country's been subjected to for the last few months.
All right, a great snapshot of where we are tonight. Dr. Bill Criss, as always, thank you for sharing your insight, and we'll see how it goes from here.
Thank you, guys.